fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions. Fact, don't ask, grab reactions. Jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused. Call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now. Y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
This can't be happening. This wasn't part of the deal. Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Q's show here. And now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Izuku Midoriya and Yui. Now, a brief summary since it's been a week. Izuku Midoriya is currently working with the League of Villains. They're about to attack the Forest Training Camp, which is currently being held on UA campus, if I do have my memory correct. Along with that, you do have Midoriya, who specifically stated to not harm Bakugo or his brother Tokoyami. Otherwise, there will be problems. Along with that, All For One's doctor has given Yui a telekinesis quirk, and the doctor has given Midoriya a quirk enhancement pill. That is going to enhance Midoriya to an unknown degree. Now, with that being said, we will actually pick up there, where Midoriya and Yui are both currently walking through the forest and taking down pro heroes who they do encounter. Now, Midoriya is able to do this with ease, since he's able to sneak up behind them and take them out while they are unexpected. Now, with that being said, we do eventually have where the students for UA, they are all outside and sitting around a small little campfire, since they are still roughing it and toughing it outside instead of being in their dorms. They can walk into the building and pick things up if they do need them. However, they are not allowed to sleep in their own rooms, or even anywhere within the building. Now, they are allowed to use the showers there, but that's about it. We do actually have where Midoriya, he does look at the scene. Everybody is talking with one another, and he does even spot Tokoyami and Bakugo sitting next to each other. Tokoyami with his head at least down and in one of his hands, since he's currently thinking about what his brother might be doing right now. He's thinking that his brother is out murdering somebody, and the thought disgusts him. And then there's also that one thought. If he paid attention to Ida, sure, he was busy with his own thing, but Ida was different. Ida was motivated the same way. And it seems to be a pattern. If you mess with somebody's family, that person will, if they need to, die to make sure they will get you back. Now, the idea frightens Tokoyami. Villains can come after them at any moment. And he's wondering, would these people come after him? The people his brother has killed, would their allies come for him? Now, Bakugo would talk to Tokoyami and try to reassure him that they're safe here, as Midoriya does watch Denki go to stand up and go to walk into the woods that are nearby the building. Now, Midoriya, he does quickly move and turn invisible, as we do actually have where Denki who is being lazy right now. Instead of walking inside, he's using the bathroom next to a bush or behind a tree. Now, after he does finish, Midoriya would sneak up behind him and immediately go to grab him by his mouth, along with pull him into his body and tell him to shush. As Denki does proceed to try and freak out and throw his body around, before Midoriya does wrap him up in chains made of light. Now, Denki does calm down after a second, and once he does see this Midoriya, he does at least somewhat believe he has an idea of what's going on. As Midoriya does slowly explain to him that right now this place is in danger, and he's here to protect people. He's going to let go of his mouth, but if he screams, he is going to punch him really, really hard. Does he understand? Him shaking his head, as Midoriya would slowly let go and bring his hand up. Denki going to open his mouth as Midoriya does go to cock back his hand. What are you doing here? It's easy. The League of Villains are about to attack. I'm here to protect my brother, along with Bakugo. Listen, those two aren't going to be targeted because of what I told them. If you listen to me and do what I say, I can make sure you stay alive here tonight. Me? Wait, I thought you were a vigilante, not a villain. I am. Listen, I'm going after the people who killed my parents. And the guy I'm working with, he just so happens to be a villain. He can get me into the place I need to get to. Otherwise, he is going to slip away. Now listen to me. I need you to charge me up. If you can do that, I can put you somewhere safe. Now, Denki, he is surprised. And he's also skeptical about Midoriya. Until Midoriya, he actually does turn Denki around and sit him up, as smoke begins to arise from the other side of UA campus. And he actually would see that. Midoriya explained to him that that's the guy called Dabi, and he has a very powerful flame quirk. He can turn him to dust in less than 3 seconds. Now, Midoriya also has explained the other villains, as he does ask Denki the question, will he help him? And Denki, he does just at least slowly nod, as he does try to think about what he could try to do. And he does not come to any good conclusion. Now, Denki, he would begin to use his quirk. And Midoriya, he does feel his strength beginning to increase. Now, Denki lets out about, let's just say, 500,000 volts. And Midoriya, he would absorb it, as he actually does bring up his hand and have electricity run throughout it. Now, Midoriya, he would then tell Denki that he's sorry for this next part. As Denki is confused, whenever Midoriya does just knock him out, as Light Shadow hits him in the back of the neck. Now, Midoriya, he would then pick up Denki and put him somewhere where villains could not find him. Let's just say he digs a shallow hole really quickly and sits him in there, along with putting dirt on him and at least a few branches and leaves to make sure the villains could not find him. Now, after Midoriya does do that, he does go to head in. Heroes are starting to scatter and get ready for the attack on UA, as Muscular is the first one to make his appearance. Now, Aizawa is trying to tell students that they need to all get away. Get off UA campus and find someplace to hide, as you actually do have All Might who is there. And he does encounter the villain. Now, All Might, he does still have his time limit. And him going against Muscular, this will be a battle. Now, as students are running away, they are running away in groups. and we will actually cut to Tokoyami and Bakugo, who are running with Asui and Ochako, along with, let's just say, a random fifth person. Who will it be? Let's say Jiro. Now, they're all running together, and you do actually have Midori who's flying in the air and stalking them all, as he does at least come to a conclusion. If he just takes these two, then they might hate him, or resent him. So, he can at least try to save them, if possible. Damn it. They're not your friends. Get it out of your head. Now, that's what Midoriya is thinking, as he does throw out change to grab all 5 of these people. Now, as they're running, all of a sudden, they all trip. Before, they're picked up and pulled into the air, all of them freaking out, as a voice can be heard. Calm down. Now, they're all confused, as Tokoyami does throw his head over his shoulder and look back, as Midoriya's face does appear. Midoriya? Hey bro, listen to me. I need to get you out of here. Villains are attacking. But what about everyone else? That doesn't matter right now. Listen to me. Now, you do actually have Bakugo who does intervene, shouting that he's with the damn villains, isn't he? As Midoriya he does go to bite his tongue. Bakugo saying he knew it. He's a murderer and a coward. And he only came here to save. Midoriya shouting, shut up. Now, Bakugo, he is surprised, as he does stare at Midoriya for a second. Now, Midoriya, his eyes do somewhat fill with tears, asking Bakugo what he would do if he saw his father get shot in the face right in front of him, and can hear his mother get gunned down, talking about how he can relive that moment every single waking time he opens his eyes. It's the only thing he can remember, and it pisses him off. Midoriya asking Bakugo if he knows that smell, the smell of rotting flesh, along with it burning, and even going to char. Now, Bakugo doesn't say a single word, as Midoriya talks about how he's getting them out of here to save them. Then he's going after the guy who killed their parents, since he's already taken down most of the gang targeting his family. Now, everyone is confused by that, along with Tokoyami being alarmed by that. He didn't know there were people targeting him specifically, and with this knowledge in hand, it does provide a bit of insight. His brother's been protecting him. The whole time he was lying, he was keeping him safe. This just conflicts with everything he just thought about him. His brother was out there needlessly murdering villains. No, he was protecting him. The same way Ida tried to protect his own brother. And get revenge. Now, Midoriya would fly them all off campus. As All Might, he is still battling against Muscular, and they're currently tearing their way through UA campus, as they are fighting. Now, you do actually have Midoriya who does drop them all off, on the top of a building. Now, as Midoriya would drop them off, you do actually have where he does land. And Tokoyami, he does just stare at his brother, as Dark Shadow does emerge from his back. Now, Midoriya, he would just look down, telling him that he's sorry. Sorry? Now, Tokoyami would just walk forwards, as Midoriya, he does just look down, hearing those footsteps. It's like hearing glass shatter each time he hears them, over and over. Through the howling winds, they sound as clear as day. And Tokoyami, he stands there in front of his brother, Midoriya expecting to get a punch in the face. However, Tokoyami, he just pulls his brother into a hug, as this surprises everybody, along with Midoriya himself, as he does go to bring his hands up, and he just holds onto his brother for 1 second, saying that he's sorry. I should be apologizing, Tokoyami. I should have told you about this. You were trying to... I don't know how to respond. Listen, you have to turn yourself in. You know that, right? No, I can't. Listen, if I turn myself in, this guy will get away. He'll go after us again. We can't stop till he's dead. I don't agree with that. I know. That's why I never told you. Now, Midoriya, he actually would go to push his brother off of him, as he does go to step backwards, telling Tokoyami that he hopes they can meet again on better ground. Now, Tokoyami does try to talk Midoriya away, as Midoriya, he does just keep backing up, before he steps backwards off of the building and goes falling. Now, Midoriya, he does recreate his wings and fly back to UA, as we do cut over to All Might and Muscular. Now, these two have had a battle that's torn apart the campus, and they've even torn apart the high school itself. Throughout their entire battle, the buildings collapsed, they shattered. Nearby windows just blew apart from the sheer force these two have thrown around. And even then, it seems like the number one hero is finally met his match. He is being pushed to his limits and beyond, as he gets sent flying through the rubble of UA and smashing through Class 1A to General Studies, or at least what's left of these classrooms, as he does go to get back up. His back feels like he broke something. 3 of his ribs are out of place, and he's pretty sure his collarbone just got hit hard enough to break a part of it. Along with that, one of his eyes are almost completely swollen shut. As All Might gets back up, and he does try to channel One for All, as he rushes straight for Muscular, who he just increases his muscle fibers more and more. Now, him and All Might battle it out, and eventually All Might does do a 1,000,000% smash. That does take down Muscular. Muscular being sent flying directly into the dirt, and tearing apart the ground for at least a mile in one direction. Now, after that is all said and done, you do actually have All Might who does go to drop down onto his knees, as he does begin to start deflating and powering down. Now, this would be where Eraserhead does actually come to run up to his aid, after he's taken down Dobby and some other villains. Now, Eraserhead, he does grab All Might and go to pick him up, as he's just trying to think. He needs to get into a hospital right now. Toshi doesn't look like he's in any condition to even move, and if he stays like this for too long, he might actually die. Now, Eraserhead does try to get a response from All Might, who, he doesn't really even say a word. He just collapsed as soon as he was picked up. Now, you do actually then have Midoriya, who was watching this from the shadow, as he does step out and ask Eraserhead if he's ready for their rematch. Now, Eraserhead, he would actually go to sit down All Might, as he would turn around and see Midoriya, talking about how it's not going to be much of a rematch if he does just effortlessly beat him. I'm aware. It won't be much of a rematch, especially a 2-on-1. 2-on-1? Now, that would be where Eraserhead, he gets his scarf pulled away from his body, as it begins to loop around and wrap around his body, and then it does shrink, closing itself together, as it does tightly wrap his arms and legs together. Eraserhead, confused, as he does go to try and break free. However, he does just fall over, and Midoriya, he would start to walk forwards, asking Eraserhead who this tiny man is. I thought that was All Might. However, I must be mistaken. Now, Eraserhead does just yell at Midoriya that he knew he was a damn villain, and heroes don't kill. However, Midoriya does just tell him, heroes do kill. They keep those who just keep hurting others from doing the same thing again. Talking about how they're not real heroes. They're not stopping crime. They're delaying it. And what he's doing is actually helping people. Now, Midoriya, he would then have Yui walk up, and Eraserhead would see her, as she would just bring her hand up and say, "Hi, Mr. Aizawa." Now, Midoriya, he would pick up Aizawa and throw him over his shoulder. As Light Shadow, he does jump out of Midoriya's back and go to carefully pick up this frail-looking man. Now, after that is said and done, you do have where the villains do reappear, and they decide to retreat. They've already caused enough damage, and tonight, they've won. Now, Midoriya hands over All Might and Eraserhead to All For One. And this is whenever All For One does keep up his side of the deal. Now, with that being said, All Might, the symbol of peace, has disappeared, along with a majority of Class 1A being reported as missing or deceased. Now, the only survivors that were found, they weren't even on UA campus, and it was curious. Tokoyami had to explain to the police and authorities that his brother came here tonight and saved his life. However, he reportedly left, and since that happened, no one's been able to see him. In fact, after this, he just kind of goes off the radar, or off the grid, you could say. And then there was Denki. He was the only survivor found on UA campus of Class 1A, which was a surprise, since he did explain that Midoriya took a boost from him, and afterwards he was knocked out. He woke up buried in a shallow grave, and with a bush on his face, which was kind of strange. Now, with that being said, we do actually cut to Midoriya, who today he is putting on his uniform, as he does go to fix his shirt and put on his hat, as Midoriya does grab his keychain and go to leave. As Yui, she actually would stop him before he does get out the door, telling him that he needs to have a good day at work, and asking if today is the day he's finally gonna get that guy. Yes, it is. It's been a long couple years, but I believe today's the day. So, be ready to move whenever I give the signal. Otherwise, we might have to disappear again. Now, Midoriya would say that with somewhat of a small smile, as Yui, she does actually go to kiss Midoriya. And Midoriya, he does have to fix his tie and, well, his hair after it's all said and done. Now, Midoriya does head to work today, as he does go through security and go through every single check they do make for the guards at Tartarus Prison. As Midoriya does walk the halls, where the man who killed his parents, he sleeps. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.